Have you ever wondered if the stories told by your ancestors are the full truth, or if there is a deeper, more mysterious history hidden inside your very own cells? For generations, the people of Punjab have lived with a specific identity, but a massive new genetic study has just revealed that your blood carries secrets that rewrite everything we thought we knew about human history. If you want to support deep dives into our shared heritage, please take a moment to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more incredible revelations, and share this video with someone who is proud of their roots. For thousands of years, the land of the five rivers has been the stage for some of the most dramatic events in human existence. It is a place of poetry, war, spirituality, and incredible resilience. But while the history books focus on the kings and the battles, your DNA has been quietly recording a much older and more complex story. This isn't just a matter of where your grandparents came from. This is a story of 5 distinct layers of human migration, spanning over 40,000 years, coming together to create one of the most genetically diverse and unique populations. This isn't just a matter of where your grandparents came from. This is a story of 5 distinct layers of human migration, spanning over 40,000 years, coming together to create one of the most genetically diverse and unique populations on the entire planet. When scientists first began sequencing the Punjabi genome, they expected to find a simple mix of local groups. Instead, they found a biological tapestry so intricate that it challenged the very definition of what it means to be South Asian. To truly understand this, we have to look at the ground beneath your feet. The name Punjab itself tells a story. The land of the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, and the Sutlej. These 5 rivers did more than just water the crops. They created a massive, fertile corridor that acted as a magnet for every major human movement in the history of the Eastern world. If you were moving from the west into the heart of India, you had to pass through Punjab. If you were coming down from the freezing steppes of Central Asia, Punjab was your gateway. Because of this, the Punjabi genome is not a single line of descent. It is a library. It is a collection of fingerprints left behind by every civilization that ever tried to claim this fertile earth. The first layer is perhaps the most profound, because it connects you to the very dawn of humanity in this part of the world. Long before the first cities were built, and long before the first seeds were planted, there were the hunter-gatherers. Scientists call them the ancient ancestral South Indians, or AASI. These were the original inhabitants of the subcontinent, people who had lived in these forests and plains for tens of thousands of years after leaving Africa. For a long time, people thought these original lineages were lost or replaced. But the DNA tells a story. This ancient blood didn't vanish. It is the very foundation of the Punjabi genome. It sits at the deepest level of your ancestry, a thread that has survived every invasion and empire. Even today in the most modern cities, that ancient signal is still there, reminding us that the first people of this land never truly left. Then, about 10,000 years ago, the world began to change. As the last ice age ended, a new group of people began to move toward the Indus Basin. These were the Neolithic farmers from the Iranian plateau, specifically from the Zagros mountain region. They weren't soldiers. They were pioneers. They brought with them the revolutionary technology of agriculture. They knew how to domesticate wheat and cattle. As they moved into Punjab, they didn't push the original hunter-gatherers out. Instead, something beautiful happened. They mixed. They shared their lives and their genes. This fusion of ancient South Asian hunter-gatherers and Iranian farmers created a new genetic profile. This profile became the engine behind the greatest civilization of the ancient world, the Indus Valley Civilization. Think about the scale of that for a moment. The people who built the massive cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, the engineers who designed urban drainage, and the traders who sent goods all the way to Mesopotamia were the direct genetic ancestors of modern Punjabis. For a long time, we could only guess who those people were because we couldn't read their script. But in 2019, science gave us a breakthrough. A skeleton was found at a site called Rakhi Garhi, which sits just on the edge of Punjab. When geneticists sequenced that DNA, they found exactly what we described. A perfect mix of local hunters and Iranian farmers. But there was one thing missing. There was no trace of the later migrations from the north. This proves that the peak of the Indus Valley Civilization was built by a people who were already a unique Punjabi fusion, long before others. When you look at a modern Punjabi today, you are looking at the direct biological legacy of those planters. The farmers who work the fields near the Ravi or the Chenab are, in a very real sense, the same people who worked those fields 5,000 years ago. The genetic continuity is staggering. Despite all the turmoil of history, the core of the Punjabi identity remained rooted in this ancient soil. But the story doesn't stop there. Just as the Indus Valley Civilization began to decline, perhaps due to changing river patterns, a new force appeared on the horizon. This is the third layer, and it changed the culture of Punjab the most. Around 4,000 years ago, groups of nomadic herders began to migrate down from The Pontic-Caspian Steppe, a vast grassland covering parts of Russia, Ukraine, and Kazakhstan. These were the Indo-Aryans. They brought horses, chariots, and a brand new language that would eventually evolve into Sanskrit and the modern Punjabi language. They also brought a specific genetic marker known as haplogroup R1a. If you are a Punjabi man watching this, there is a very high chance, nearly 50%, that you carry this specific marker in your Y chromosome. This isn't just a random statistic. It is a physical link to the warriors of the Central Asian plains. This migration was so massive that it shifted the entire genetic landscape. It added a layer of Central Asian and Eastern European ancestry that distinguishes Punjabis from others. This is why, when geneticists look at Punjabi populations, they notice they are west shifted. This means a person from Punjab often looks closer to someone from Central Asia or Europe than to someone from Southern or Eastern India. This isn't superiority, it is result of geography. Punjab was the first stop for these steppe migrations. The impact was so strong that it redefined the physical and cultural appearance. The high frequency of R1a in Punjab is one of the highest in the world, marking this land as a crossroads. The fourth layer is where things get even more interesting. It involves the Middle East and the Mediterranean. For thousands of years, Punjab was a hub of global trade. The Persian Empire, under kings like Darius, controlled parts of Punjab for centuries. They brought with them administrators, soldiers, and merchants. This introduced a genetic marker called haplogroup J2. This lineage is deeply connected to the Fertile Crescent in Mesopotamia. It represents the sophisticated urban and commercial history of the region. Roughly a quarter of Punjabi men carry this Middle Eastern signature. It tells a story of a land always connected to the pulse of commerce. It reminds us that Punjabis have always been a people of the world, connected by trade to the universe. As we look at these four layers, we start to see a picture of a people who are not just one thing. They are a fusion of the ancient forest, the mountain farm, the open steppe, and the desert marketplace. But there's a fifth layer that often goes unmentioned. It is the layer of the Eastern invaders, Huns and Mongols. In the 5th century, the Huns swept through Punjab, leaving behind their genetic fingerprints. Then, centuries later, the Mongols arrived. While often associated with China, their impact on Punjab was significant. They didn't just pass through, they stayed. In certain parts of Punjab today, you can still see physical traits that echo these East Asian ancestors. Sharper features or specific eye shapes. This is where the story gets personal. Think about the face you see in the mirror. That face is a map of 40,000 years of movement. You carry eyes of a hunter and spirit of a warrior. It is a combination that exists nowhere else in quite the same way. Every time you speak, every time you eat, you are reenacting a history. Think about the incredible journey your ancestors took to bring you to this moment. They survived droughts, wars, and the fall of empires. If this discovery is moving you, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. Identity. It helps us keep these stories alive for the next generation of listeners. One of the most mysterious parts of this genetic puzzle is the ghost lineage. Researchers have found a maternal line that doesn't fit major theories. It is a lineage called M52B1. Researchers have found a maternal line that doesn't fit major theories. It is a lineage called M52B1. Showing up in groups like Gujars. It doesn't come from the steppe, and it doesn't come from Middle East. It seems to be a very ancient group of women who lived here for millennia. They are like a hidden chapter in a book we haven't figured out how to read. These ghost ancestors represent the quiet persistence of local families. But let's talk about Alexander the Great. In 326 BCE, the Macedonian army crossed the Indus and entered Punjab. This was the furthest point of empire. History says the soldiers mutinied, but did all of them actually leave? Modern DNA testing has found a rare cluster of European markers in about 2% of the male population. These markers are identical to those found in the Balkans and northern Greece. It means hundreds of thousands carry the legacy of soldiers who stayed. After Alexander, Indo-Greek kingdoms flourished in the region for centuries. This was a time of cultural blending. Buddhist statues looked like Greek gods. Coins had Greek and local scripts. This period solidified the reputation of a culture taking the best of the world. It wasn't just war, it was birth of a globalized culture in South Asia. Now we have to address something. Difficult. The traumatic year 1947. The partition of India and Pakistan tore families apart through Punjab. Millions were forced to move, but the DNA tells us a different story. The border does not exist in your blood. Sikhs, Hindus, and Muslims of Punjab are virtually identical genetically. They share the same steppe markers and the same Middle Eastern J2 roots. Religion changed the labels, but shared history cannot be erased. A Punjabi on the Pakistani side is genetically closer to an Indian Punjabi than to almost any other global group. Your DNA doesn't know your religion. It only knows you are of the five rivers. This unity extends even further. The Roma people of Europe are the long-lost children of the Punjab. They appeared in Europe with unique culture, and DNA solved the riddle. Scientists found a massive match with populations of Punjab and Rajasthan. A millennium ago, a group left this region and trekked across the world. They are a living testament to the Punjabi spirit of movement and survival. But your DNA is also about your health. The Punjabi genome has adapted to the environment in fascinating ways. Dairy products like lassi and ghee are staples because of genetic traits. 63% can digest milk into adulthood, a trait called persistence. This comes from ancient steppe herders. However, there is a darker side to this legacy. Diabetes and heart disease. Specific gene variations were likely advantages when food was very scarce. In the modern world, these survival mechanisms have become a health liability. Understanding DNA allows us to take care of health in a tailored way. The future of the Punjabi people is being written right now globally. If you learned something, please share this on WhatsApp or Facebook. Let's start a conversation about our real history written in our blood. Social structures also had impact. Marrying within specific groups has created unique genetic clusters here. Different communities have preserved ancestral signals for many centuries. This diversity is a goldmine for researchers studying human history. It is like a perfectly preserved record of different eras living side by side. In parts of Pakistan, cousin marriage has concentrated specific gene profiles. Culture and biology are constantly dancing and shaping who we become. The diaspora has spread to every corner, from London to California and Australia. The Punjabi genome is mixing with the entire world in its newest sixth layer. The story of Punjab is not finished. It is a process of people evolving, absorbing, and constantly growing. There's a race against time happening beneath the soil of the five rivers. Archaeologists believe big secrets are still buried in dry riverbeds. If we find ancient remains, we might find the story goes back even further. Every year as cities expand, we lose a little bit of that buried history. We aren't talking about a single race, but an experiment in human connection. We are descendants of everyone who decided to make these rivers their home. Think of all the wars survived and thousands of miles your ancestors traveled. They carried DNA through fire and flood so that you could exist right here. Pride and heritage is about the journey vibrating in every cell of your body. You are a walking miracle of history. Use this knowledge to bridge gaps. If DNA says we are one people, then it is time we started acting like it. Similarities are deeper than differences. Whether in India, Pakistan, or abroad, you carry the same ancient fire inside. The Punjabis were always something much bigger than we originally thought. They are a microcosm of the world. Next time you stand by the rivers, remember the layers of your history. Remember the hunters and the farmers. Remember the warriors and the traders. And remember the ghosts who never left. DNA has given us the key to our past, but we decide what to do with it. The truth is that Punjabis are a people of the world and for the world. Their blood is a chronicle of survival. As long as those five rivers flow, the story will continue to unfold. We are the crossroads of humanity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time and science. If you found this exploration meaningful, please like and subscribe today. Which part surprised you the most? Drop a comment. I read everyone. History is strength, and knowing the truth is a step toward a better future. The blood knew the truth long ago, and now, finally, so do you. Stay curious, stay proud, and never stop searching for who you really are.